Hello, my beautiful star family. Welcome to another episode of Starseed Mission Support. We have such an exciting episode today. I have my amazing friends on here. We're going to be talking about this incredible journey we'll all be taking in like a week's time. We're going to talk about this incredible solar event that is about to happen this month of October. And I'm just really excited that you guys are here because I know that, the month of October is kind of mysterious. We're going to have a Friday the 13th this month. We're going to have this solar eclipse. And we're also going to have Halloween. And people are talking about this crazy signal emergency thing that's going to happen that might kill people or something. And all that is to say, October is usually a very, very exciting and active month because we have a direct Earth-Sun alignment to not only Arcturus and Andromeda, but also the universal center. And so October is a very powerful month every single year because of these stellar alignments. And this year is just super amplified by this extraordinary Ring of Fire eclipse we're going to experience. And so I'm really excited that my friends and I are going to tell you all about the amazing things that are happening this month. We hope to activate your dormant star-seeded timekeeper DNA so that we can navigate this crazy world on behalf of Mother, Father, God, unfolding this incredible divine plan here on Earth together. So as usual, we're just going to begin with a little bit of sound healing to bring us all into this sacred temple space. I welcome you to just breathe, land in your body, connect with your highest source unified aspect of self. And we're going to start our conversation in just a couple of minutes. Let us all take a nice, deep, steady breath into our lower belly, filling up our body and our heart. Exhaling into this sacred dragon temple of pure, pristine, divine, Christic light. We're just going to bring all of our body, all of our astral, cosmic, galactic aspects, all of our divine energies, all of our dragons, all of our spirit guides, all of our elemental allies, all pieces of the one self that operate in utmost united frequency with the purest and most ancient and true unified living source intelligence. And you breathe, arriving in this beautiful temple space here now. Just allowing the sound vibrations to purify and cleanse our heart and our body and our field. As we arrive here with your star family, breathe into this pure angelic love that you feel for all of life and all of creation. And with every breath, activating your living starlight intelligence of your Mother, Father, God. And with every exhale, letting go of that which does not belong here in the space. We're connecting with each of our own highest source unified aspects of self. Connecting with our guardian family, our crystal star intelligences, and all of the highest Christic beings in the universe, uniting for this one prayer, this one dream of universal completion, cosmic and planetary peace and joy, and highest creative evolution. And as you activate that living prayer inside of your heart through this love that you feel for all of life, for Mother, Father, God, for all of your brothers and your sisters, we drop deep into the earth through this honor and this love that we feel in our heart. United, we sound our intentions for today's gathering, that each being receives the highest activations and alignments and messages that ushers them forth into their highest heaven on earth timeline, into their highest power, their highest mission. Welcome to the Temple of Original Creation. Welcome, family. I'm so happy and excited that you're all here. I'm so excited to introduce to you my beloved guardian allies. So, this whole adventure began when I was having a conversation, I think, with my beautiful friend Katrina. And all of a sudden, I saw her as this giant dragon that was sleeping. And then I saw this little eyeball that was like peeking up above the ocean, and it was like vast water. And I felt this like immense sleeping power and intelligence. And then all of a sudden, this eyeball just opens. And I was like, oh my God. And then soon after that, we started receiving these visions about this island, and I saw that we were going to be doing these dragon activations together. And so I want to just welcome my beautiful sister Katrina and her brilliant and amazing beloved Herman.
Hey, beautiful.
Hi.
I see. Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone. Mm.
So I'm so excited. Before we bring on Saskia, I would love for you guys to just quickly introduce yourselves, kind of what you do, and yeah, just briefly.
Yeah, thank you. It's so amazing to be here with you all. And yeah, just so honored to co create this magic today. And yeah, just so excited for everything that is unfolding and on its way. And so I'm Katrina, and I am the founder of Universal Keys. And so I work in quantum energy healing and light body repair, trauma integration. And so, yeah, this is really my absolute divine calling. And I've been doing this for some time now. And yeah, it's just unfolding in the most beautiful way. And so, yeah, I just feel like this incredible voyage to this beautiful Pacific Island is just this incredible unfolding of just the next stages of everything that's already destined and the prophecies. And so I'm just so honored to participate in this way and just to share my heart, my love with this combined mission, and to, yeah, just to continue to be of service in the way that I can. And so, yeah, just thank you all for being here, and thank you, Z, for this opportunity.
Hi, beautiful family. My name is Herman. I'm from Chile. I've been working with music and frequency for almost all my life. Currently, I have my own record label that is Sounds of Sirius. And I've been deep into the science of yoga and tantric teachings that is really classical for over 12 years. I'm really happy to be here with all of you guys and really honored to work with my beloved, to work with C, our beautiful other couple that is there, Saskia, and sending you a big hug to everyone. Thank you for this opportunity to be here live with all of you guys.
Mm. It is truly such a precious opportunity to um, kind of get to experience these divine union codes. And, I just want to let you guys know that this is going to be a very beautiful experience held by all of us. That my husband is here with us in spirit. He is undercover, he can't be seen in the Starseed community, but he will actually be with us as well for the event that we're going to be sharing with you today. But it is obviously, you guys can feel it, such a beautiful energy when we can sit with the true vibration of divine union. And that brings me to introduce our uh, other friend who will be with us today, who was here last month, Saskia. And I guess this is the way. The first time that I got to witness Saskia's energy, actually, I just was, sitting on the couch, and then I opened my phone and I see this tiny little logo on the Facebook page with her picture. And for whatever reason, I literally just see this like massive goddess made of starlight, in like a serpent dragon goddess, and it was so powerful. I literally fell backwards on the couch. And this is, never happened to me before. So I was like, who is that? I have to send her a message. So I messaged her and I was like, I know this is gonna be really weird, but this is what happened. You just knocked me over. So She'll be joined with her amazing partner as well, who's just putting their baby down for a nap right now. So Lukaijah will be joining us shortly. But hi, beautiful.
Hi. Hi, everyone. It's such an honor to be here with you. I'm just like so lit up and excited for, just like the magic and just the prophecy that is unfolding with, this whole event that is going to take place in Tahiti in October. And just to be here with you all in this moment is, it just feels such a divine blessing. For those who don't know me, I'm Saskia. I'm together with my beloved Lukaijah. I'm a co-founder of Divine Union Alchemy. We support couples to restore their hierogamic inner divine union template so they can become this magnetic match to attract their true parasgamos partner. And we work deeply in the quantum fields, and I feel very deeply connected to the Emerald Dragon lineage. And just really in awe of how our DNA that is being upgraded within all of us that are holding these timekeeper codes are just like unlocking more and more of these like emerald wisdom scrolls. So it's just like an incredible mystery that is unfolding, and that we're just able to witness this like divine master plan.
Whew, I'm so excited to have all of you here. So I think why don't we do this almost like panel style, where I'll just kind of almost pose a question and then we just go in a circle. Does that work? I think I will just keep things. Okay,
Yeah.
so I think the most pertinent thing, the first question is, what the heck is the 144,000? Why do some people just have this feeling that they are like here on some epic mission on Earth? Is it just crazy? Or, what's going on with that? Whatever wants to come through around this from you guys would be so honored to hear all about it.
I'm happy to share. For me, my perception of the 144,000 is really just this fractal of the 12. So it's really those who are embodied and, destined to reanimate that Christed consciousness or that crystalline intelligence. And, this is something that is incredibly, ancient and encoded in these beings. And that's why they feel called and drawn towards planetary restoration and the liberation of consciousness. They just feel fired up by these things, and they just want to serve. They just want to help because they don't see the separation. They see how this universe and reality really operates at its original core through that unity intelligence. And so, they are these pillars. There are these conduits of that original divine creation intelligence, that unity or that trinitized frequency that is really just streaming through their DNA, and they're holding that living light through their light bodies, through their physical bodies, through their DNA. And so, it doesn't mean that all of us in the 144 are fully in our potential just yet, but it's just that that potential is there, and we're destined to have our memories and recall who we truly are in more of a multidimensional level. And so I feel like a lot of us who are highly empathic and we are really sensitive as children are likely one of the 144,000. And it's a lot to it because again, like in diving into that core of unity, it's required these, this family of beings who are scattered all throughout the globe to really like do the work to heal the separation, to heal the devastation and trauma that they've also been through on the human level. And so that we can really become that effective conduit and pillar and really stream that light through the planet and the grids of the planet at this time. So it's a beautiful, I feel like it's a beautiful memory or gnosis that we hold within our template as this collective of beings that are really embodying more of the Christic energy. So like that Christ-like crystalline essence, that loving and pure and innocent vibration. Like this is really the core of these beings. And, you know, together as this community, we are remembering who we are so we can help restore this heaven on earth timeline. And yeah, I guess, you know, all the beings who are here watching are really likely to be a part of this group. So thank you for your work and for your, just for following that inner flame, because it's really no easy feat in a planet that is really this dense and this challenging. So
it's like we are the ambassadors of this awakening.
Yeah, the way showers. We're showing the way. We're like, you know, creating a pathway so that the rest can follow through to be reawakened and to come into that memory. And so, yeah, it's really such an act of service. It's so powerful. So, yeah, I just want to thank all of you on the call and for all of these beautiful starseeds and, you know, angelic beings who, no matter what, they just remember that purity and will always do what they can to shine their light. So, yeah, it's an honor to be with you all. Oh, you're on mute, Z.
I was just curious to know if Herman had more to say, but his smile is saying it all. So
well, she just say everything that we've been talking all the time, so I'm just amazed.
His smile says it all.
Saskia?
Yeah, I just absolutely loved this definition Katrina brought through. You know, like the purity, the devotion is just kind of, you know, what we can really feel in the 144,000, like the high angelic family of the Christus Sophia that are really like the sons and daughters of the, you know, the Holy Mother, Holy Father. It's like the founder, guardians, and creators of the God world. And yeah, it's really just so incredible to just witness this remembrance get sparked in, you know, every one of the 144,000. Like we know everyone has like different just like timekeeper genetic just like it's like activators in their DNA that come on, and you know everyone has their own unique story how their remembrance sparks back again. And oftentimes it's, you know, a part of their mission remembrance that comes through, or also their like Hyros Gamos journey to find and unite back with their Hyros Gamos counterpart, and which we know is part of like the ascension template to remember again how to come into inner divine union, and just like this spark, this love for humanity and of course God, Holy Mother, Holy Father, to like really serve from this devotion, this purity of our hearts. And this really is what just brings us on this journey, this divine orchestration that is guided by God, Holy Mother, Holy Father, that is just orchestrating, you know, this whole prophecy into physical embodiment. So it's just incredible to just like witness it all being orchestrated. And it's really like this star template that is being pieced back together. It's like a divine architecture that is restored within our light bodies and within the planetary body and within like the angelic kingdom. So it's just, yeah, such an incredible time to witness it all come back together, being pieced back together, and the sacred emerald heart spark being activated again within us. And you know how this has the power to literally through our DNA to just like radiate this remembrance around us as well, and like interact with like the planetary body. And you know this is really something that I can see in the 144,000 is that like they have like just this remembrance that has come online in their DNA is so powerful. It really is like an emerald sun that starts like radiating this divine remembrance, this like wisdom, this love, this purity. And it's like, it's so activating to be around one of the 144,000, because it's like this truth, this love. It's like, it pierces like deep into, the soul of those who are open to it, and it can like ignite this DNA and remembrance codes in others as well. And this is only just like amplifying more and more with all the activations that we're receiving from the great central sun at the moment. And so it's just like an incredible phase at the moment of this quickening, to see it all come online more and more.
I love everything that you guys shared so much, and I truly feel like it's such a small community when you really think about it. 144,000, and well, there's like, almost 300 people on this call, so it's not very many people. Thinking about the people that are actually aware of reality on this level, if you are awake, if you understand that this world has certain facets of spiritual warring, and this force that is very anti love, anti God, anti divine union, that is kind of creating this inverted culture that is steering humanity away from the true qualities of human nature and divinity, then you are, a part of a very small group of people ultimately on the earth. And I really believe that the people that are awake to this reality, it really is just a simple, almost like a mathematic thing, because when you have a higher genetic, well, when I say higher, I don't mean better. It's kind of like an earth linear way of saying things, but I guess more of your genetic template activated, it means that more consciousness, more dimensional consciousness can actually flow into your body, into your consciousness. And so that means you're going to have this extra layer of awareness that other people are not going to be able to have. And so that extra layer of awareness gives you those intuitive hunches, gives you that empathetic ability to feel into what people are saying beyond just what they're saying. Like, for example, when they were telling people there's a plague, and you're like, that sounds like they're lying. But then a lot of people really believed them all, right? Like, what is that different? And that is really, that is what having, that's the beginning of what having kind of more genetic, of more of your genetic template active feels like. But then as you activate more of your template, you're going to have even more layers of perception. And those layers of perception are going to include, the source of your soul, and how you're connected to Mother, Father, God, and how you're part of this interwoven fabric of the universe. And and then you're going to come into this junction. I feel like this message is coming through because, until the end of 2024, our star family is undergoing this massive activation, because up to this point in our collective mission, it's been very mental, it's been very conceptual. We understand that we're here to lead this planet. We understand that we're here to change and bring in heaven on earth, and it's this massive thing we're gonna do. But we're like, okay, we're gonna do that at some point. But right now, we're just going along and going about our lives, and cooking dinner, and it's been very easygoing. And so it's almost like we've been waiting, or we've been in stasis, or we've been working on previous phases of our mission. And at some point, the 144,000, or the star seed, or the light worker, or whatever you want to call it, is really just somebody that has an active spark of God's love in their heart. That's really so simple, right? Because when you have that spark of God's love in your heart, that love is going to lead you into questioning, like, why are these people suffering? Why are these people, intentionally harming other people? Why are they making billions of dollars by generating harm? And that love in your heart is going to lead you through this labyrinth of asking, who's doing this and why are they doing this? And then the most important question, how can I help? What am I supposed to do? And if you ask that question strongly enough in your heart, the universe is going to start to respond, and you're going to start to get those synchronicities, and you're going to understand and get downloads. And then you're going to hit this wall. And this wall is kind of like the persecution trauma, right? If you look around in our world, we've been threatened since we were born by these, crosses. Like, you see Jesus on a cross, and every time you see, think of how many times you've seen a Jesus on a cross, right? Every time you see one of those things, it's a direct threat at you. It's like, if you activate and shine your light, if you actually express this divinity, this is what's going to happen to you. And so, we've been under that unconscious effect of those energies for a whole life. And that's only one example, right? In every single lineage, there has been massacres and exterminations, and in certain ones of our lineages, that is still happening. And so it's like, at a certain point, we bump into this realization, and then we'll try to run away from it, because it's like, oh, no, 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 I'm not gonna be who I came here to be. Like, who do I think I am to be a spark of God? Like, who do I think I am that I'm gonna be the one that, shows people what this is? And at the end of the day, this begins to lead us into this process of maturation, emotional and spiritual maturation, where our heart begins to go through these phases of initiation, where we become the person that is trusted by God. We become the human being that is worthy of, being a carrier of, like, the most holy of frequencies and light, so we can literally remind humanity what is inside of everyone's heart. And, that's really why we feel that our mission here on earth is so simple, is to return God's love to the heart of humanity. But, with that simplicity also comes very complex reality, because so many people are just programmed by so much, religious trauma. And one day we're going to have to be able to explain to people, very difficult things, and help them understand again what God truly is. And in order for us to actually do that, we have to do our healing. We have to go in and, come into that inner union, right? That's what Saskia and Katrina were talking about, that hieroskamos, when we are in that open communication. We are in that state of being in love and being in devotion with Mother, Father, God, that we are just living in that state of union with that force. And then we're being guided by that, and we kind of begin to purify our human self to be able to communicate in a very grounded and loving way, so that humanity can follow our signal back home. So I'll just wonder if you guys want to piggyback on that.
Yeah, I just wanted to also expand upon, how the collective consciousness is stationed at this sort of lower vibration. Let's say the majority of people, and the programming, that separation and the fear. And so when these beautiful 144,000 are incarnating into their human experience, it's really difficult. And, a lot of you will resonate with that, the experience of your earlier years, or just growing up and developing into this world. It's like you've potentially felt like a misfit, or like that spark is there, but somehow the world doesn't correspond with that. And again, it's just like that devotion, like that commitment to continuing to embody the light no matter what, because it's hard when your families are not awake, or when your communities and just everything that you interface with are operating in a completely different wavelengths. It's just so challenging, and so much of the time arises like these feelings of immense loneliness, and just feeling like you're seeing through these veils, but not many others are. And so on a human, like, social level, it's quite challenging for us to make sense of this world, because it's not how we remember it, and it's not how we know it can be. And so, I often feel like this this Christed family have this vision of utopia, and it's not like a delusion or just like an imagination. It's something that's, truly possible. And so that's really that driving light, like that lighthouse that we just see, no matter how dense and thick and congested things get, and no matter how lonely we feel or separated from just like the beings around us, that we truly know we're here for this greater mission. And that mission is like learning to be here, to be in our bodies, to hold that light even when it's not being reciprocated by the world around us just yet. And there are ways of us like incarnating at different times. And yeah, so if this has been your experience as well, it's just, again, such a testament to how much courage that this incredible family has to continue to pursue this dream and to align vibrationally to that, to do the work on themselves and to show up consistently, and just, cleanse and purify all these other layers and programs that no doubt we all still had as well.
And it's not an easy road as well. It could be really complicated to lose friends and family, but we have a divine purpose, and it's in our heart, and we just need to remember. So it's really important that we feel that it's something else going on here, and we're part of this all together. So, yeah.
And your perceptions are like your superpowers. And so these are coming online now more than ever before. So those veils are really thinning. And so, like, we haven't seen anything yet. There's more coming, like, and we're going to be just so divinely and precisely attuned to be able to see through more layers of the programming and the veils of deception, because that's ultimately our power. And we're here to also support our families and our communities when they're ready, of course, but all willing hearts to just walk hand in hand once again, because the separation is truly the biggest illusion on this planet. And so this is what I feel like the 144 are here to integrate and to heal, so that they can ripple out and keep transducing and radiating that energy of unity, of family, of being united in all constellations, whether it's just your immediate family or your community or your extended family, or however you relate with people. It's something where this frequency and this energy is just illuminating, and it's just our greatest gift. So I just wanted to speak into that, because for me personally, it's been really challenging to just kind of like land in this world and feel all the things, and at the same time try to not shut that down, like to try to keep that spark alive. It's sometimes easier to just try to conceal that, and no doubt we probably all have, but it just doesn't work because that spark is way too bright. So yeah.
Yes, I feel probably most of the 144, can relate to, the challenge of awakening, to see the truth of, what has happened to this planet and to this world, and, to really kind of come out of this like ignorant bliss that we usually, are conditioned into, to just think, everything is just, beautiful in this world when we grow up, and then we start to like see through these little cracks and the corruption and everything, like start to see like everything that is fallen and distorted, and it can be really, like you mentioned, like really challenging and confronting. And it's like, this is why, like, God has already, like, for many years been starting to like awaken the 144. Most of the 144 have already gone through many years of just a certain level of like initiations of this like awakening, so that like we can awaken to this truth, and at the same time feel like the cosmic love of God in our hearts, that is our refuge, our sanctuary, that is helping us, transmute this all, purify, all our parts, and literally do soul retrievals for parts of us that are frozen and stuck in other timelines. Which every time we do that, it's like we do a timeline repair. We multidimensionally repair grids, parts of our planet as well. And as we take ourselves through this process, it's like this is like a really important initiation, so that most of humanity that is only just yet to start their awakening process, and will have to go through this really challenging choice of needing even to have the initial courage to know yes, we will choose to take ourselves through this process of letting the truth back in, and needing to then feel all the emotions and fear, pain that surfaces, and then have the tools to open the heart. It's really like the restoration of the sacred emerald heart is one of the greatest core pieces, to really just feel everything with God, and just let God back into our heart, especially into those dark pockets that are struggling, that are being challenged, and so we can just feel it with God. And this is a huge part of the 144, to just support humanity, to just remember that in the darkest of times, that we have our star family, we have our angelic star family, and of course Mother, Father, God, that are helping us to transcend this, to overcome all this distortion. And through our devotion to we become a vessel, we become a pillar. It's we are a conduit for God, a bridge, where it's everything that we're seeing with our eyes, everything we're feeling with our hearts, even if it's really dense, it's we're reporting it back to God's source, and God that lives inside our heart gains access to everything that needs to be repaired in this world. So everything that we are being a witness of, to this just emerald heart care, compassion, and this ability to bring God into the pain, or into what we're witnessing. It gives God access to come to our heart, and to not only witness this really dense realms here, and in every expression of what unfolded here for different souls here. So it really helps God to gain access, and through us guide us. It really then allows God to give us an action that we take that will help restore, help souls to purify, to heal their pain, and for the planetary grids to be restored. So it's a huge emerald heart restoration process of ourselves and our planet that is unfolding. And it's really part of these incredible prophecies that are part of the dragons awakening from stasis, that are needing to have the courage to face their deepest fears, and also even their deepest bitterness and rage for how the planet has been taken over, as the dragons really are the guardians of what is sacred, and they're also the creators, the co-creators with the divine. So it's for those who embody, who hold these dragon Solarishi DNA. It can be there can be some moments of extreme challenges in the awakening process, of having to really face deep rage, deep pain and fear, and this is also what I believe is also part of this ring of fire initiation, that we really just kind of have to go through this ring of fire, where we allow ourselves to feel everything with God, our deepest fears, our deepest rage, but we remember our purity, and we remember the love of God, the support of God that is accessible to us, that helps us co-create miracles, and is always there for us to just with our aurora families. It's really this miracle frequency of aurora plasma that is all around us, that is literally like, once we remember how to tap into it, it's as simple as like breathing it back into our bodies, and just receiving this like miraculous like plasma that starts to fill up our light body, starts to fill up these dark pockets, and it starts to create a transmutation process. In our emerald heart, it's like a transmutation power that our emerald heart possesses. And then there's also like a co-creation power that is, kind of in our wombs. That is also like an emerald heart piece inside our wombs, like a centerpiece within our wombs, that like really ensures that all our creations that we co-create with God are really just fully aligned to the divine will and to our deepest soul desires. So this emerald heart piece in the womb can just like allow us to transmute all the density, the bitterness, the unconscious rage that is stored inside, many of our wombs for, just what has happened. Like many of us have to even, unlock deep numbing shields because it is so deeply challenging sometimes to really feel these subconscious truths buried in our bodies. It's really like, also, yeah, like why the dragons are just at the same time, like, in a lock spell in the Earth's crust. There's a certain layer of there's like, it's almost like a time shield that is allowing, it needs like a certain level of our devotion, our devotional fire, the Amoria flame in our high heart, that is really trusting God so much, that is knowing, that God is the one force that is, the most powerful force that we can truly trust, no matter how much trauma has happened to us or to our planet. Just surrendering or opening our heart to God and surrendering to God, it's like ignites this Amoria flame, and this is really what gives God permission to create all these repairs. And once this devotion kind of reaches like this peak, it's like a soul fire that becomes so strong. It like starts like overriding all these like reversals, and it's like it kind of allows this lock spell to be lifted, because once the devotion is strong enough, it's like, there's nothing to fear. It's like the energy of, the Holy Mother's aqua blue Holy Spirit comes through, this like miracle frequency, and it just like allows us to literally transmute, any bitterness and rage held within our womb back into like this holy passion. It's like, it's such a fine line that we can feel, in when we really allow ourselves to release numbing shields and tap into hidden rage pockets for what has happened to, for example, the feminine on the planet, children, or, also of course men or planet. The siphoning, the violation, the abuse, like everything that has unfolded. When we tap into that, like there is a way we can actually like fuel it into this holy passion to protect what is sacred, just like a spark that gets like ignited in the heart and womb of humanity. And this is one of the most powerful like dragon awakenings and like transfigurations that we can, it's like really when we bring both our heart and our wombs online and bring God in. So it creates like an incredibly powerful awakening process and transmutation process that creates like a huge ripple.
Phew, it's getting hot in here. Okay, so I'm so happy that you brought in the dragons, because that's definitely where we're going. This video was titled 144,000 Dragon Timekeepers. It really feels like right now is such a pivotal time. And well, first of all, I think it's so beautiful that this energy of community and unity is like kind of a theme in today's call. I just love that so much. And I feel like that's a really deep heart feel that this community really feels, like this true love, true safety that we feel, to know that we're really like one body, right? We're really one dragon, one united movement, allowing just one creation to move through us as a unit. And that gives us power, that makes us powerful. You know, when we all rise up and shine our light together. So I think that's so beautiful. And another thing that was coming through was just like this divine timing, because yeah, it just seems like the timeline war has been so amplified since the plague a couple years ago, when like the dark forces or whatever have just been trying to like do everything they can to grasp on to this timeline, like Agenda 2030 or like whatever else they're trying to do with like the smart cities and whatnot. And it's really just like this consciousness war. They're just wanting us, because so many of us are experiencing something completely different. You know, so many light workers are feeling the higher dimensions opening up and feeling this divine love awakening inside of our bodies. And so there's obviously two things that are happening. And then this month of October, interestingly enough, there was all this craziness about how there's some death frequency that's gonna like come up through this alarm that's gonna go on everybody's phones, and then people are like all freaking out, and it's just like wow, like I just feel like in these times, you know, we can always choose like what reality we're in devotion to. And it doesn't mean that we're not aware of things that are happening. It doesn't mean that we don't like stay in touch with this physical world. But it's just like, okay, if we really knew the power of God, if we really knew how powerful we were and how much we matter, if we really believed in ourselves, in all the visions that we've seen, in all the ways that God has shown us what our mission is, because every single one of you are here because you felt an inkling, or God has shared with you a vision, or you have this destiny that you've already awakened to, right? And so if that vibration of mission and prophecy is inside of your body, then it's really up to each and every one of us inside of ourselves to fan that flame, to stay in devotion to that within ourselves, more than the fear, more than the other things. Like, you know, it's like at this point in my body, I know for certain that we're going to have heaven on earth, that we're going to complete our mission. There's not an ounce of doubt inside of my body, because I know the power of my source, and I know the power of our collective and of our family. And so, you know, this is really this month, I feel that it's an opportunity. God has shared with us this opportunity to really take advantage of this Ring of Fire eclipse months ago, when Saskia and I were first talking about this. She kept mentioning this Ring of Fire volcanoes around the Pacific Ocean. And we were talking about how the Pacific Ocean is like the womb of the world. And we actually did a video where we talked about a lot of that on the YouTube channel. It's called Maui something, because that video was about Maui. But anyway, so you're talking about how the Pacific Ocean is like this womb, and all of life actually began, you know, in the underwater volcanoes, which are like the deep inner water, like cervixes, and then kind of how it amplifies and opens up, and almost like the entire ring of fire. Like the ring of fire is what they call the cervix that completely dilates also. So when a woman is totally dilated, we call that the ring of fire as well. So that ring, that chain of volcanoes around the Pacific Ocean, we were tuning into how it was holding all of this immense creational power for like the timelines on the earth. And then we started seeing these like almost chains and hooks like in the earth's body that were basically blocking her from giving birth to like the timeline that she wants, right? Because she is one with creation, she is in divine union with Mother, Father, God. Like she is a fractal of that source as well. And so she has a divine destiny. And, you know, there's these forces that are using these technologies and wars and rituals and, you know, evil magic to basically siphon that creation energy, this ancient dragon energy, which, you know, Vatican actually comes from this name of an ancient goddess that was the goddess of birth. And it was like also a word that meant dragon. and the ancestral Italians that lived, on that sacred hill. And so all of these systems have basically been usurping and I want to say pillaging the earth's creation energy and blocking her from birthing the realities that she wants. And then coupled with this ring of fire eclipse, and a lot of people even traditionally say that the ring of fire is really about your personal power. Like during the ring of fire eclipses, we have this opportunity to step into our own self's highest leadership, stand into our own soul's highest power, really step powerfully into our leadership. And leadership really begins in our own life, right? Leadership begins inside of our own body and how we spend our time, how we nourish our bodies, how we take care of our family. And then once, God sees that you are capable of taking care of things that are in your domain, then God says, okay, now I'm going to give you more responsibility. Now you can facilitate these things. Now you can do grid work. Now you can have this divine company. Now you can share these messages. And that energy of leadership is so needed now on the earth, because it's really this energy of sovereignty, is this energy of agency, where you know that you have a mission and you have a destiny, and you really just align your personal will with divine will. You apply your personal agency through that fire that Saskia was talking about, where like that devotion just like is so ablaze inside of your heart that it drives your agency to just do things and take care of yourself and be on your mission no matter what, at all costs, right? Because it's being driven by that love that you have for God and the promise that you made to creation when you incarnated here on this planet. So these are all the energies that are going into this really powerful event that we will be facilitating together in the middle of the Pacific Ocean during the eclipse. I think it's October 12th to the 14th. And it's a 3-day event. It's only $144. And you're going to get, 8 live calls with workshops and activations, DNA activations. Once Saskia's husband comes on here, you will get to experience his amazing magic as well, incredible fire that he has. And it's the price of like one therapy session. So you're pretty sure you're gonna get like 10 years of therapy if you come to this event. So the link is in the description wherever you're watching. The links to find all of these beautiful people are in the description as well if you're interested in checking out more of their work. But I just wanted to kind of give you that download that this is just going to be, none of these events ever come from my brain. I don't just sit around and say, okay, what's the next thing I'm going to do? It's like, okay, first I see a freaking dragon in the ocean, and then Katrina's waking up from her ancient sleep. And then next thing you know, there's like, ring of fires everywhere. There's an eclipse. We had already scheduled the dates for this event before we even found out about the eclipse. And then, up until last week, we didn't even know like exactly what was happening. So all I saw was that there was this chamber deep in the earth, and we had to basically go into this inner earth temple, and we were doing a ceremony there, and the ceremony would awaken the dragon. I see literally this eyeball over the ocean. It just like opens, and I was like, oh my God. And like the whole planet, like the dragon is like the body of creation. So the earth is part of this dragon, and the universe is part of this dragon, and this creational dragon is like the meridians and the light body architecture of original creation, which is, synonymous with actually the universal tree of life. And the reason why consciousness is not flowing and accreting properly, and we're having such a hard time connecting to our highest self, is because there's all of these breaks and tears and distortions in the universal light body. And so, yeah, this is just going to be a next level opportunity. My husband was at a 10-day Vipassana last month, and he was like, yeah, I just had daily appointments with the dragons, and they actually showed him this incredible sequence that we're going to be facilitating. I can't say more about that here on the public internet. But it is truly going to be amazing. Our prayer, we're going to be doing this ceremony together to awaken and amplify and activate the earth. But really, it happens through ourselves. I have been feeling, and you guys can chime in, like I feel like I have these dragons, like dragon power that's like coming online. And I feel like it's leading up to this event where I'm feeling like more of myself come online and more, I'm feeling like more power and more confidence and more capability, where in the past I might have felt like insecure or unsure. And so, this is um, this is something that, we're really praying that each and every single one of you experience. Like, that's like what we're after, is for every single one of you to experience this dragon power awaken in you, so that you live your life, you move about your life in this way of being a grounded, empowered agent of creation. So I'm just gonna pause there and let my beautiful friends share.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that, yeah, it's going to be also like a huge Harus Gamos activation as well. So it's going to really balance our inner divine masculine, inner divine feminine aspects within us. And yeah, it's going to like allow, like, the birth of like the pure golden Christ consciousness like within us. And this is also really going to allow like the birthing of, this golden aurora timeline, the higher Christed timeline for the planetary consciousness. So this is just like such a huge event that we have waited lifetimes for. And yeah, we're just like so honored that we can, as one big angelic star family, like co-create this together. And it's just like the highest honor we could imagine.
And I just find it so incredibly divine that, we're speaking into the emerald crystal heart, and, we're literally living in like this Laniakea, like super galaxy. And, it's just this whole intelligence that's always enabling us to be connected, no matter where we are, like in our embodied consciousness, no matter what density we're at, we always have that capacity and that ability to heal and to evolve spiritually, and to repair our divine vessel, so that we can come back into that perceived and real experience of unity. Not that conceptual experience of it, but the feeling of it in your body, and the feeling of it in the earth and in our reality. And for me, that's just this, like, the ultimate causal seed of why we were created, is really like to express and embody love. And so, the Holy Father has really just given us that fail-safe protection and security, and that crystal emerald heart, so that we can always find and navigate our way back to our origins. And of course, as you were saying before, Saskia, it's just like the journey of like working through all the layers and all the self-study and reflection and the deep, deep healing is providing such a powerful feedback to that creator. And so it all has value. And I feel like a lot of us now who have been in this path for some time, we're really starting to perceive polarity in another way. Like we're really seeing beyond things being good or bad, like there is value in everything. And again, it's just this ultimate testament of how devoted we are and how strong that memory is, alive in our bodies. And it may not be like a mental visual memory, it's just that knowingness, like it's this cellular knowingness that we're here to shine this light and to support the healing of our planet. And for me, just like this beautiful crystal emerald heart is really that seed, that core seed. And this ring of fire and just everything that's happening now with the solar activity is just profound. Like the last 2 weeks, my phone has not stopped notifying me of like X-class players, M-class players, like every day. That's quite like unusual. I was noticing, wow, this is like 2 weeks of consistent solar activity, and this is stimulating us. It's really stimulating our DNA to to repattern and to organize itself in this new way so it can express new geometries and new experiences and potentials for us to truly live. And, there's a lot that, comes with this, but it's also this like spontaneous remembrance and that ignition of the original template that we hold, that we were talking about before, like the Starseeds and the way showers. We've come in with that genetic coding, so that in divine union with all the planetary and cosmic forces that are just dancing and working with us now and accreting through the planet, it is this ability for us to really quantum leap and to come into that, that knowingness, that confidence and divine right action, and aligning our personal will with the divine will, which is, that can be quite a challenge because our ego is like, no, this is what I'm supposed to do, and I've got to pay my bills, and it has this sort of real individuation perception of how life is supposed to be. But when we can really phase lock with God's will, and we're like both on the same team, we are just lifted up in synchronicities and abundance and alignments, and all these, we're just showered by blessings that make that path so enhanced, and you will feel like it's smoother sailing, honestly, instead of like all this crisis and internal conflict and being pulled in different directions. The path just becomes more graceful. And so I feel like that's one of the markers that we should be really like feeling and just like sort of tuning into. Am I having a lot of crisis in my life and conflict and polarity? Or am I feeling that sense of grace? Am I feeling congruent with the divine will? Right? Because when we do come into that, it shows that we are so reverent and trusting and knowing of the divine mission, and that we're here to honor that and do whatever we can to see that realized through our actions and through our creations. Because really creating is just the most purest and effective way that we can bring through these energies. And of course, coming into union with ourselves, being in divine union with our own masculine and feminine polarities and aspects. And, so that we can be unified as a being and then come back into union with God, with Source, with our planet. And from there, it's like we are just inundated with this cosmic eternal frequency that can stream through us because we are more coherent geometrically and in all of our template. And so when we continue to loop and, feed into the drama and the fear, and we kind of just like fall into that patterning of, just like incoherence. And so it becomes more challenging to be able to really like embody that light and what is really available to us right now. And it's so divine, but it's also challenging because, our DNA is going through this massive upgrade, and we hold like a carbon elemental base that's connected to all the elements of the planet. And as we know, like the planetary elemental fields are also being targeted through the water and the plasma and the earth, and all of these seals and ways that's trying to prevent us from our own ascension as well. And so we are just going through this incredible phase of our awakening where there is just so much more support now than there ever was before. And that's why so many of us are noticing the negative extreme polarity really kind of ramping up a bit. But, we also have to trust that we are divinely guided, and this is, part of the heaven on earth prophecy. And this is underway, and it is happening, and it's accelerating. And so we just need to remember that and to not slip back into fear, to hold that anchor, because this is how we can be effective right now. And so I know just from the work that I do that a lot of beings are really feeling disheartened or questioning themselves if they're not doing enough, and just feeling a little bit insecure about how they can show up. But honestly, it's like if you live your days in love and you are in devotion to your own physical body and to the beings around you, and you are in union with this experience, like you're already so effective in being a way shower. And this is going to express through our creations and our ability to be creative and be authentic, to speak from that crystalline heart, that flowering chakra, to enable like all of what we convey to be really with integrity and congruent to that vibration of God. And so it can really be in the simple things. And I just feel like sometimes that, not to make us complacent or lazy, but sometimes that can just take off that ego pressure of like feeling, just feeling in conflict with ourselves, that, you know, we're not doing enough. It really expresses in so many different ways. And so I'm really all about like the groundedness, like how, you know, how are you in your family dynamic and everything that's around you right now, you know, and how are you showing up in these relationships, and how are you taking care of yourself, because your body is that vessel. That is what is really transducing this light. And so, of course, like we're talking about divine union and Hieros Gamos, and that is just so amplified when we come into union with our, you know, divine counterpart, our, you know, genetic mirror, or our twin. Like this is so sacred. And again, like we can see how there are so many spells and programs to try to make, trying to confuse things and making union quite transactional, and our perception of it really just degraded, so that we are not quite understanding what the true architecture is here. And so there's so many more beings as well that are going to come into these partnerships in correspondence with this, you know, divine twin, so that that container can hold this amazing field of, you know, union within, but union without. And it's just so incredible. And I know that, yeah, like, well, both you, C, and Saskia work a lot with it. And so I just feel like it's just so amplified when we can first be in union with ourselves, but then also be in union with our beloveds. And this is just such a precious and powerful experience to hold in this human reality. And yeah, like just with this emerald crystal heart, it's just so divine that we know that we are always in communication with that signal. I just feel like for us, you know, really recognizing that we're always held in the womb of creation. And, you know, the stargates are really opening right now. And obviously the work that we're going to be doing in the Pacific, in Tahiti, like this is, again, like amplifying and really being able to hold the correct ceremonial architecture to really make the most of what's coming through with all these galactic events, to really just work with what's there for us. And so I feel like this is going to be such a massive uplifting journey for all of us, and for all those who join us as well. It just feels like the ultimate destiny, and that it was already written, and that we're just like, yeah, we're just along for the ride. But it's like there's a higher intelligence and power that has orchestrated this for sure. Yeah, but I'm so excited that we're going to be there so soon.
Yeah, it's so true. It really feels like written.
Yeah, it's already written. And we're just stepping forward, because that's part of the divine will for, you know, for us as 3 divine unions, but also all of the beings who are going to be joining us, because that resonance is, it's that authentic knowing that we're meant to be there to do that work. We're meant to be there to support this collective remembrance. And yeah, and it's just such a it's just such an honor. And yeah, this spirit is alive in so many of us right now.
Yes, I love that you just just mentioned, how we're going to be just activating the Hyros Gamos to this like dragon activation, because I feel like many of us have gone through just avatar integration aspects during like the last year, and have been starting to now going to the solar reshik level. And I really feel like this is why so many star seeds, so many of the 144,000 have like, some of us have been able to physicalize our soul desires, like our mission blueprints to a certain degree, but many of the star seeds have been kind of struggling to really like burst things into like physical creation, or have just been like coming up against like many obstacles. And I really feel that this Hyros Gamos activation that's going to unfold to this ring of fire eclipse in the Pacific is really going to like create like a huge blast to bring on this like creation power in a way that it's really just going to like blast away many of these obstacles. It's really going to like ignite our emerald crystal heart, our devotion. It's going to like really activate these dragons from stasis. And I really feel like it's going to have a huge effect on many aspects. It's going to, we always know, we hear of these legends how like dragons literally, most legends, they're like the guardians of like treasures and like caves. And it's like these caves are actually just like symbolizing the crystal cavern of our wombs, and the whole treasure that we're going to be able to unlock when we bring these dragons online, the abundance, the just like the energy that's been laid dormant, the creation power. And I feel like many of the 144 are going to be able to really step into like a higher octave of their mission. Many, that have already been serving are going to be stepping into like legacy mission projects that are going to come to fruition. And there's going to be like more, just like abundance available to really like bring them to life, to like physically like create things on the planet. I really feel like this is like the start of it's like so many miracles that are actually going to come, finally more and more into like the physical like creation of matter, because that is kind of what these dragons are. They're like finally the ones that are going to be able to like burst this aurora timeline into physical creation, into matter, even in this like dense realms here. It's finally going to be able to like bridge through and restore this like trinity blueprint of the unified masculine, feminine, and Christ the child within us. So yeah, this is really an absolutely like epic event for our star family and humanity and our planet. And yeah, I'm going to pass on the mic to Lukaijah very soon, because he's ready now. And I just send you all so much love and look forward to seeing you.
Our baby just fell asleep, so now we can all be together.
Okay.
Aloha, everyone. How's everyone doing?
Welcome. You want to quickly introduce yourself?
Yes. Some people know me as Lukaijah. My name is Lucas Diamond, and I live here in Maui with my beloved. I am a quantum healing facilitator. I teach on divine union, integrated life mastery, and I'm all about the anchoring of the highest timeline, our highest good, activating our evolutionary leadership so we can fulfill our purpose, leave our legacy in synchronicity and synarchy and alignment together. And I'm so happy to be on this mission with you all.
Nice. So excited that you're here. We were just talking about the awakening of the dragons and planetary leadership. I think one thing that one thing that was like feeling like it was coming in was kind of like, and on the website it was like the dragon temple, like the temple of original creation. Like I would love to bring in just like a slight description of like what that truly means. Like what does it really mean to come back in a temple with family? And there's all sorts of different kinds of temples on the planet now, but the temple of original creation, you know, it is really a space that we are intentionally remembering together to venerate and reconstruct only like the highest and most original, purest frequencies of, you know, Mother, Father, God, original creational intelligence. And this is why the it's called the Dragon Temple, because the dragons were the most primordial creatures that had always held this knowledge, the knowledge of the universal tree of life and the multidimensional structures of creation and the ley lines and the meridians and the energy body. And so, you know, when we enter into this temple space, you know, it really requires for each of us to hold such a precious honor and reverence in our heart, not for any of us, you know, not for the facilitators, but really for like the space, really for the energy that we are really calling in together as a family. And so, I don't know, I would love for Lucas to speak to like that honor, because it feels like a very almost like a inner masculine architecture that has been forgotten. Like a lot of people think, oh, we're just gonna pay some money and like it's like this transactional thing, but really it's so much deeper and so much more profound than that. It's about right relationship and honor.
Yeah. There comes this time where we realize the, you know, I'll share a little story and that correlates to exactly what you're saying. At the beginning of an awakening, we have this amazing heart opening. We connect to realize we're one with God's source, and there's this incredible euphoria. And then we realize that not only are we one with God's source, but we've been given a soul. And when we connect to our heart and our soul and the upper stations of our identity, we realize this original emanation we come from leads up to this sacred, holy space where we're all interconnected with one another. And when we connect to the station of our identity that is up there in the sacred eternal abode with one another, we realize there's this shared template between us all. We are all facets of this incredible jewel that share a common purpose to anchor something beautiful on the planet, yet we have our own quintessence, our individuated, unique keys that we each, when we plug it in all together at the same time, the same way, with the same devotional commitment, it unlocks this profound, unifying, interconnected, interstellar process that we're part of. And it's such a deep honor to serve the original intention of this evolutionary intelligence we call God's source, creator, all that is. And we're original emanations of that. And so when we really realize that and realize we have a key, and this whole existence that we are is such a profound gift, and we can offer our ego identities and our fears and our worries and our concerns and our ambitions up into that profound source of this eternal gift. And then we are given the mantle that comes through our devoted surrender. And in our commitment to bringing that gift into its fruition, we unlock our inner key, and then we plug it in together and we make some magic happen. And that's what this event is all about. And everyone who enters is part of it. Everyone who enters into this space is going to be unlocking the nexus of their evolutionary potential. This is being on the forefront of this evolutionary edge of intelligence. So everyone is going to get gifted something profound that we don't even know how to put words on yet, but it's going to unlock the clarity needed to anchor our individuated missions in coherence and synarchy with one another. And my perspective is that, yes, we've been in a way working together in some levels of synarchy, but this is going to be the turning point where where the monadic counterparts, like the unions, came together, but now the unions are forming councils, and these councils are going to form with the other councils, and we're creating this monadic connection across the planet that we're really going to synchronize our efforts, and it's going to 1000x the power of what we're doing here, and it's gonna quicken awakening, and it's also going to help us ground and actualize our spiritual riches in the higher realms onto the earth. So if you are ready for that level of clarity, that level of next level power through your humble devotional commitment, and to work as a team on this planet and to feel unified with your monadic family, and you're willing to offer that devotional surrender and honor the sacredness of this process, then this is for you, and we would love to co-create with you there.
I love that so much. Like, I just, like, as you were talking, it just, helped me like get this visual of like, the 144,000 that are really just like, the high angelics, and they're like angels. They're different, like the angel, they're like angels of light, of living light, and like different rays. And just like you mentioned, when we all come together, it's just like in a divine union, there's like something gets unlocked that's far greater than the individuals themselves. It's like the 144, like we make up like this whole full spectrum living light field of creation, of original creation. And what will be unlocked to this unified field is just absolutely like beyond what we can comprehend at this point right now. It's just absolutely like the divine master plan that is going to be burst through us as a unified angelic matrix. And I do feel like a lot of like divine unions can get a signal through this process as well to unify. I feel like a lot of star children that are yet to be born are going to like kind of it's going to help them come to this planet. And there's so many blueprints are going to be unlocked through this powerful process. So we are just so excited to open this up to all the 144,000, to our angelic star family, to come together and be part of this.
So beautiful. I know that we're like an hour and a half, and Lucas wanted to share like some sort of energy activation, which I know that we will all enjoy. So is there anything else that any of you would like to share before we go into that? Well, I think there is just this one piece about how, like, kind of backs off of what Saskia was saying about this birthing of timelines. And, it is so, like, Hyros Gamos is so at the center of all of this. And Hyros Gamos is like multidimensional, and that it's not just about like you coming together with, a partner or a husband or, getting married, but more than that, it's so much about getting into union with God inside of your own heart, and then having your inner masculine and inner feminine come into union with their own highest essences of being like sparks, being their most matured and spiritually, emotionally cultivated versions of themselves, to become almost like these embodied sparks of your avatar self. And then from there, the unions come together, and they're really like, I know there's a lot of weird information out there about twin flames and stuff, but really what the twinned genetic equal divine union partnership is a technology which is the most capable technology to transduce the highest qualities and dimensionalities of God's consciousness. And it requires for almost this shared light body to be able to facilitate this consciousness, which is why we always hear about, twinned couples, throughout the Earth's ages. And it just so happens that there are many, 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 many souls who are here, who are on this path. And it doesn't mean, looking for your twin is just not gonna make it happen. Really, how you call in and how you create this reality is the first things that I mentioned, right? Coming into right relationship inside of yourself, with God, with everything that is in your home, with your family, with your past lives, with your mission. And when you are so in right alignment with yourself, then it's by a natural byproduct that divine union just comes into your life at like the most magical moment in a way that just blows your mind, as I'm sure you guys can both attest to. And what that allows us to do is literally, and this is not that you have to have a partner to join this, because you have that inner marriage, that inner union. That union creates a container for the highest qualities of Christ consciousness to be made manifest. And that will be in the form of your mission, in the form of books and projects and land and retreat centers and whatever is in your heart that you want to create, and also possibly your star babies and your highest heaven on earth timeline and all the impact that you are here to make in the world. And so I'm saying this because this activation is an opening ceremony. We are going in with the intention and with the guidance of connecting with the 13th Master Dragon line in the center of the earth. And this, basically opens up this timeline up into 2024 of bringing in Hyros Gamos into the planetary grid again. And you guys know there's been such a big war on gender splitting. We see that in so many different ways now. But, historically it's been this erasure of women. But more and more I'm seeing in this erasure of fathers as well. Because we see like, oh, Mary Magdalene was written off as this, silly little girl. And we have this erasure of the goddess because there's this masculine god. But when you look at our society, there's never been more single moms. And so there's this erasure of like the true pillar of fatherhood as well. And so all of this has led the planet to, be very low in consciousness, because that hierogamic consciousness is not able to be made risen. And this is what we are working on. And so just really excited for this first meeting, this first mission, because I think it'll be the first of many.
Yeah, I wanted to share this introductory activation and also invite all of us to popcorn as we're guided. And this is not planned. This is just us opening the field so those of you listening can get an experience for what it is to enter into an experience of inner alchemy with us. And also, one final thing, based on what Z said, there are some specific action steps that our higher self, God Source, needs us to really take to open up the streams of receptivity for the blessings that are wanting to anchor. So for some of you, it's your divine union partners. For others, it's a whole stream of grace and peace and prosperity, your next home, a whole, flood of love and soul family connection. But whatever it is, there's a specific set of actions that are in alignment with your purpose that often there are just forces that are designed to distract you from those actions, and whether it's internal sabotage or external distraction, the intention that I want to bring to this moment and to this space and in general is to really pierce through all of this distraction, distortion, hypnosis, internal sabotage, external attack, so that our clarity of what we are here to do and how we can take action from that place of beingness and wholeness and inner union, and from that inner embodied foundation, take clear, precise action that's going to open the gateways, align us to the highest timeline, quantum jump us, and then open the receptivity channel so we can receive together and anchor together what we're here to do. And so if there's been some things you've been procrastinating or putting on the table or you don't have clarity about, I invite you to join me in this intention that I'm going to clear away all the distractions, all the coping mechanisms, all the things that are in the way of me being my fully most embodied, clear, executive action taker self from that place of wholeness. And let's let's get to it, because it's time, and the clarion call is here, and we're answering it together. Z, do you want to start the activation by setting a field, or would you like me to start and go right into it?
I think you just go for it, brother.
All right. I'm going to invite everyone listening to close your eyes. And as we close our eyes, I invite you to call yourself to yourself. What I mean by that is you may have been tracking many things, helping a lot of people, thinking about the past and the future. And for this next short activation, I invite you to call all of your energy to be here in your body, in the present, ready to receive what you're here to receive, release what you're here to release. And as you call your energy to yourself and you feel yourself grounding down into the earth, pulling that earth energy up through your legs, up your central channel, expanding your field, opening your heart, and inviting your higher self to anchor a pillar of light from the highest realm, from the heart of God's source, all the way down through your physical body and into the earth. As you imagine that beautiful pillar coming down through your body, I invite you to open your heart. Breathe into your heart. Let it open like a lotus flower. In your mind's eye, let's visualize a platform of light below us all, a temple of light surrounding us all, and a pillar of light anchoring down from the heart of God's source to the heart of the earth. As we invoke the presence of God's source, Holy Father, Holy Mother, the guardians, our higher selves, to be present. We ask permission. Do we have your permission to work on you on all levels? And do you give permission to God's source, Holy Father, Holy Mother, the guardians, your higher self, myself, Z, Katrina, and Saskia, permission to work on you on all levels for your highest and best, and for your highest and best only? If so, I invite you to say yes. And if you also give permission to all aspects of yourself to release what you're here to release and receive what you're here to receive, I invite you to say yes. We ask that if there's any interferences, distortions, distractions, remote viewers in anyone's field listening to this, that they be cleared and removed so that this can be a sanctified sanctuary for everyone. And we call upon the connection to the 13th dragon line and everything that this whole ceremony is leading up to in October, when we're in Morea together. And we're opening up the field now to surround this work with guardianship at the next level. Fields and spheres and spheres through the Holy Mother arc and the Holy Father arc. Guardianship, that if there's any forces trying to track what we're doing and track anyone coming to the space, well, this is 10,000 levels of tracking that source. You don't want to come look into what we're doing if you don't want to be fully faced by the Supreme Court, Supreme Council, and the entire law of justice system. You don't want to come look into what we're doing unless you have a purity of heart. And so we surrender our concerns, our ambitions, everything to the altar of this divine purity, and we enter into the sacred station of alignment with our Rishik selves, our higher selves, and our highest dragon power selves. We're coming into greater embodiment, and this is a preparation. It's just a preparation, a warming up, and entering into what we need to release to come into integrated alignment with who we are and what we're here to do on this planet together. And so with all of that said, I invite you to feel into your devotional commitment to reach your highest potential in this lifetime, and your devotional commitment to anchor in the highest blueprint of who you are and what you're here to do. And who you're here to be. and how to take actions from that place of beingness. And as we honor everyone who showed up today, each and every one of you has an original spiritual blueprint, has a specific Edenic template, a specific legacy codex, a specific set of dragon power abilities and activations that are wanting to come online. And in order to align with the highest potential of your embodiment, your receptivity, and your ability to anchor in and manifest, actualize, and live your highest timeline and the blessings that your heart desires, there is a sequence that your higher self wants you to go through. There's specific action steps you're meant to take. And then there are specific initiations to follow. And if you're willing to align to those, according to your own higher self, not anyone else, but your own direct channel guidance from your higher self, I invite you to say yes. And as you open up to that field, we are creating this incredible inner earth opening. It's an inner earth opening. It's a welcome invitation to connect to specific ley lines that will align you to the Aurora Earth. Some of you have been a little bit stuck in the collective Earth, the median of the Earth timeline that's connected to the collective, and this is going to be an opportunity, this 3-day experience, to timeline hop every aspect of your being to the Aurora Earth timeline, to be more immune and liberated from all that's happening on this planet that is dense and weighing us down, so we can be untouched by no matter what happens in the world and the economy with the ups and downs that are pulling on the collective and causing fear. We're creating our own timeline, our own energetic blueprint, a restored Edenic template, and we're anchoring that down through our being. And there's a preparation to really step into that, to become an untouchable, to become someone that is unmessable with, and really has that field that is so sealed and so solid that we're vibrating with that Aurora Earth timeline together and operating in sync with each other and actualizing the prosperity, the love, the fulfillment, the freedom, the blueprint through sovereignty. And we're actualizing that in land and in joyous relationships and communities. And so this blueprint, this template is connected to the ley lines, it's connected to the dragon lines, it's connected to what's going to be opening and activating. And if this resonates with you, I invite you to connect to it and to tune in to what you need to do between now and the 3-day experience and ceremony that's taking place in the perfect timing in around 2 weeks. We're going to be together and for 3 whole days, moving mountains and aligning everything energetically. And so what do you need to do to prepare for that? What do you need to do to come into alignment so when you show up, you don't show up just as a receiver, but you show up in your planetary leadership role, ready to be crowned, ready to be brought into your fullest activation. And so for those who are ready for the next level of your leadership, who are calling in your divine union, who are calling in your sacred clarity and the treasures of living heaven on earth, what do you have to do to come into alignment? And there's just a specific set of blueprints and keys and codes that's grounding now and landing for everyone, and it's unique to each and every one of you. As you open your heart to receive this, there's a sacred yes, and your sacred yes to your highest path, your highest blueprint, your highest service lines you up with each of us in a synchronized unison, in a synarchy and alignment. And as we come into the alignment, we're just tuning into anything else that wants to be received or called forth. And let's just open the field. If any of you divine beings have anything to call forth for ourselves and our listeners, I invite you to do so now.
I feel just called to support the Amaria flame in the high heart, between our heart and throat, to be just activated, just visualizing and feeling this like blue flame, golden and blue flame, purity of your heart, devotion, and we just allow this to ignite like the dragon song lines within your own body. Also just your heart, your emerald crystal heart center, your womb, and we want to just like connect your womb to the inner earth gates, to the aquiline sun, to let the Holy Divine Mother and your Aurora Guardians just stream through. It's like any remembrance codes, wisdom scrolls that you're ready to receive now, especially anything that is helping you ignite remembrance of who you truly are and the blueprints that you hold, your deepest heart's desires that you know are unique to you, that you have been encoded with in your DNA, that is part of your 144,000 angelic makeup that you bring to the table of this beautiful divine star architecture of the angelic star family that you hold to co-create the aurora timelines. We just ask this to be streamed into the beautiful crystalline chalice of our womb and our hearts. I can feel like beautiful crystal fractals starting to blossom, like Crystal Sophia, like songs starting to emanate out of specific like pockets that are starting to like awaken from stasis, certain like memory codes in the DNA that are coming online. And we're starting to see also the emerald heart sparking more, coming more alive, activating more of like the emerald sun body, the emerald sun template, and the emerald crystal heart starting to like radiate like a sun. More and more of that living emerald crystalline light starting to ignite from out of your heart center. As you're starting to feel like your purity, deep love of God, Holy Mother, Holy Father, for all aspects of your being, and just opening your heart more and more to receive that love, specifically in places in yourself that you have struggled with accepting, that you've judged, that you have felt you're not as far along in your mission as you wanted to be, or you're not yet in union, or any places that you have struggled or rejected aspects of yourself. If you have struggled with accepting aspects of yourself in certain emotional states, when you feel like anger or rage or fear or anything that felt challenging to you, we just ask you to open your heart as wide as you can and allow in even more of this emerald living light of God. Just stream into any pockets and allow your heart to flourish and bloom open even more. Beautiful. Yes, just like letting this anchor into the DNA, just activate more of the emerald crystal DNA in all of us. And this is going to just continue, this activation is going to continue and amplify until this solar eclipse in October, where we're going to be able to like ignite it to its fullest potential. So yeah, I'm just going to pass the mic on to whoever wants to add anything.
Yeah, and just also feeling called to tune into the sacred waters of our bodies, of our incredible natural, thriving, living biome of divine intelligence that we hold, that we house in our sacred bodies. Just feeling that plasma stream really flowing up from the inner core of Mother's womb, of Mother Gaia, the beloved elemental planetary mother that is just streaming this crystal infusion through our cells, through our DNA, our mitochondria, and just enabling that blessing and vibration of unconditional love and just absolute compassion for us. And just feeling that flow through our cellular system, through our crystalline fascia, and just really receiving that eternal nourishment and the nurturance to support this incredible journey and all that is amplifying and all that we are stepping into these next stages of our collective unified ceremony and intention. And just really holding that absolute reverence for creation, feeling that in your body, feeling what that feels like to be this ray of light, to be this embodiment of creation, and just the magic, the incredible gift that it is to experience this at this time. And just allowing those waves, those energies of thankfulness and gratitude to well up from within you. That gratitude for creation, for life itself, and the preciousness, the treasure that is, that we hold deep within us. And the true blessing that it is to be able to be here and participate in this timeline correction and this really bringing forward this liberation, this activation of consciousness, to be able to birth, to transduce, to see this realized through our bodies, through our integrity, and for that devotional love, that inner flame. And honoring this as the most sacred gift, not to be taken lightly, to be so held with so much care, with so much of our ancient wisdom, to align with that original signal, and to have the courage to release and let go of any old constructs and identities, no matter how hardwired they may seem, and opening up into the spaciousness and to the voidal space, into the starry night, so that original spark, that light of God and original creation can come into its next form, its next expression through all of us and through this interconnected circuitry that we are hosting and housing on the earth, in union with the earth, and in recognition of all of the multi-dimensional quantum elements. And just breathing into your heart and feeling that expansion, that your heart is just spinning and flowering, becoming that opalescent rainbow bridge to connect us with this higher destiny, with this higher remembrance. And we are all so truly divine. We are all so pure and innocent. And we are this living embodiment of the original source, here to really steward this mission to be the way showers, to lead, to step into leadership with this emerald flame alive within us, this assertiveness yet pristine authenticity, the softness, the wisdom to guide us forward into that divine right action, into the openness to be able to really bring through this vision, this visionary dream, this heaven on earth timeline.
All right, I want you to breathe now into your body and just begin to see your body as this infinite expanse of starlight. And as you tune into the subtle states of your multidimensional energy body, let's just breathe here for a little while longer as we begin to sense these lines of energy. You might feel them as warmth or tingles. You might feel that some parts inside of your night sky are darker than other parts, and maybe some of the stars are a little bit dim, or maybe there are some places where it feels like there's stickiness or where the starlight isn't shining as bright. And with your awareness, we are just going to begin to open and access our dragon lines of our body, our axonal lines, our hairline, our meridians. And for a moment, just to recognize how incredibly miraculous it is that we have this precious, sacred body. And already built into the body is this capability to experience divinity, to feel divine love, to feel union with all of creation, to be in touch with magic and something so profound. For a moment, just becoming aware of the fact that you're built this way, and already woven into the fabric of your body technology is this ability to be in touch with the divine, to experience yourself as holy, as infinite. Just feeling so much gratitude and awe at yourself being. And sensing how the dragon lines or the energy body being offline, or us being in amnesia and forgetfulness, we lose touch with that. We forget that that's who we are in our deepest essence. Now, I want you to simply apply your mind to imagine what it could feel like inside of your body if all of your meridians and dragon lines were fully healed and online. Imagine it might feel like jumping headfirst into a glacier, ice cold lake. And your whole soul just comes alive. And you feel like you can fly, like you can do anything, like the power of creation flows through your body, and you can take a step towards any possibility. especially all of those things that you wish to do, to become, to make happen, all of the realities that you wish for humanity. This highest timeline where all the children are playing outside and free, and all the water is clean, and all human hearts feel honor and reverence for all of life. If we know that that is the certain future that we are co-creating, what a part of this co-creation lights you up the most? And just imagine for a moment what it feels like for all of the powers of creation in the universe to be coursing through your body, through the dragon lines of your meridians, your axitonal lines, and your light body architecture, that your body feels so light and enlivened by life force, that you're full of joy and excitement just to be alive, just to be here, just to share in this miraculous timeline with all of your angelic brothers and sisters. How you wake up in the morning jumping out of bed because you're so stoked to be alive and you're so grateful to be here. Tune into what it feels like to be in your own personal heaven on earth timeline. And know with certainty that that is available and ready and here for you right now. And all that's needed is for all of the sparkles in your light body to be a vibrational match, to be already in the vibration of being 100% alive. Just a little final last moment here together. We're going to imagine we are all together in the womb of the earth, in the most primordial realm that we can remember. And we're all dancing around this massive mother tree. And we're just so excited, so joyful, each holding so much love in our body. We're just celebrating that Aurora Earth has fully anchored. Our planetary highest heaven on earth timeline has manifested. And we're all just so proud and honored and excited that we got to be here together for it all. Now remember how this is feeling in your body, because when you feel this way, this is your heaven on earth timeline manifest right here, right now. And from this vibration, everything you do and you speak and you hug and you act and you express begins to weave this vibration into the tapestry, the fabric of time and space. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Allowing everything you've just received to ground fully into your body with the sacred structure of your own divine masculine, the divine masculine of your higher self connected to the Holy Father arc and the kingship arcs that emanate the structures that will support your highest evolution and the evolution of all life, are grounding down to hold, anchor, ground, and integrate everything received. Visualize that structure grounding and holding you in this incredibly expansive network of sovereignty and empowerment and divine will alignment. As you allow the integration to fully sink in and the balancing of your hemispheres, the balancing of your hormones, the balancing of your polarity, the balancing of divine masculine and feminine within, into that wholeness point within your being. I invite you to say yes, open, receive, ground, anchor, seal. As we complete this, we say thank you, thank you, thank you. It is done, it is done, it is done. And so it is.
Whew. That was amazing. I want to give a shout out to that rooster, that yard raptor dragon that was like, it's time to wake up. It's time to wake up. Wake up. This has been so beautiful, my family. I'm so happy that you get to meet my friends today. And I just wonder if there's any last words that you'd like to share before we hop off.
Just that it's an absolute honor to share this space with you all and to be working towards this incredible co-creation. It just feels like it's literally written in the stars, and we're all like uniting in the middle of the ocean in the Pacific. It's just so huge. There's so much to it, and I feel like we're just so divinely held. And I just know that all of the beings here on the call and those who feel the resonance to join us will be amplifying that field, and it will be just, increasing in magnitude with everyone's presence. And the whales and just the fertility of this month that is just so divine, just so powerful. And yeah, just welcoming all of the magic, all of the alchemy, and yeah, all of the incredible activations of our memories, of our mission. And it's just an incredible time to be alive, to be participating in this personal, planetary, cosmic, multiversal ascension. So thank you all so much. I just feel so held in family and just so connected to you all. So thank you, thank you.
What I'm guided to share is that, there's lots of different planetary alignments and ceremonies and activations. This one coming up is, for me, so distinct, like one of the few that really mark huge transformation in my life and in the collective. When I came into union, there was a certain level of work that could only be done when I came into union that made me more of who I am. And that's how I feel of this event, but on a monadic level. There's a level of work and liberation and embodiment that can only happen when the divine unions come together in the specific alignment, the specific time, and we're finally ready for it, and we've been waiting for it for so long, and now it's like coming together, and we get to heal the monadic split. We've healed the divine union split, and now we're healing the monadic split between the unions and reforming the tribes and the networks and the councils, and we're healing the splits between us so we can trust each other again. And then what we're anchoring together, we never could have done just on our own. And so it's profound, it's glorious, it's a time of celebration, and there's some specific sequences of specific clearings, activations that need to be done in a specific order so that we can receive. And I trust it's going to all unfold. We're going to all facilitate that. So if for all those that are joining, it's going to be powerful and amazing, and I look forward to seeing you there.
Yeah, I'm so incredibly excited. Just us all together. It's so activating our frequency to, my soul. Everything that you have shared, I literally, as Katrina and C were guiding the activation, I just got like a whole download of like a divine union solar and star, like dark matter, like template activation that I meant to like facilitate during the event. And I was also feeling like the whales and the dolphins so strongly that I know, we're going to be in Tahiti able to like connect and swim, with those sacred, beings of the whales that are like the wisdom keepers, from the highest dimensions. So I'm like really feeling there's like so much that we don't even know yet that is going to be coming through. And, that it's just the divine intelligence that wants to bring it through like in the moment. So I'm just like in awe of what is unfolding and so excited and grateful to be part of this.
Sending love to Herman and Shane, who cannot be part of this live today, but you will be seeing them in a couple of weeks. So honored and grateful that you've all decided to spend the last couple hours here with us. We love you so much. We're just so excited for this gateway and really everything that's coming forth. I feel like there's just certain things that we have been waiting for a really long time, beyond this lifetime, and it's finally starting to click into place. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of relief and a lot of celebration. So yeah, I'm just so grateful that we get to do this thing here in this lifetime together, our beautiful angelic family. And you can find the links of everyone here on this stream in the description of all the videos, as well as the link to our Moria event. And Katrina, I saw you move.
What was that?
I saw you move your mic, so I thought you wanted to share something.
Oh, no, I'm good.
Okay, thank you guys so much for this beautiful evening, and we will see you all soon. Bye.
Bye.